Ei, gente, tudo bem? Vamos fazer a revisão da lição 13? So we'll get ready for the test on Wednesday, right? So we started this in class, so let's just pick up from where we left, okay? I'm going to start again. I'm not going to pick up from where we left. So, corte desordenado. So, número 1, qual é a palavra? So, this is a vocabulary practice exercise. So, corte desordenado de árvores. So, notice that corte means cut, but in the sense of it's a noun, okay? Remember that I always tell you to pay attention if it's a verb or a noun. So, here it's like uncontrolled cutting of trees, ok? Então, corte desordenado de árvores. So, o que é isso? Desmatamento, ok? Desmatamento. Plantar. So, now you have a verb, ok? To plant trees again. So, this is like to reforest a place, ok? Então, reflorestamento. Oh, but you want the verb, right? Because here it says plantar, so you want the verb. Então, reflorestar. Ausência ou falta de água. So, the absence or the need of something. So, that means like something that's scarce, okay? Scarcity. Então, escassez. Consequência da poluição do ar. So it's a consequence of the pollution of the air. So we pollute the air, so what is the consequence? What comes out of it? It's the greenhouse effect, right? Então, efeito estufa. Escassez de água. So when you have a lack of water, the absence of water, you have a drought, right? Seca. Principal gás poluente do ar. So main gas that pollutes the ocean, like polluting gas. Dióxido. Notice how you spell it. The accent mark is on O because it's dióxido. Dióxido de carbono. Natureza. So what's the other word for it? Meio ambiente. Água adequada para o consumo humano. So, what is the water that's adequate for human consumption? It's called drinking water in Portuguese. Is água potável. Água potável. Look at the accent mark because it's potável. So the accent mark goes there. Potável. Opa, potável. Now, responda de forma completa. Qual material demora mais para se decompor na natureza? So, this information, you should have it because we studied it. Então, plástico, 400 anos, borracha, 600 anos e vidro, 4.000 anos. So, vidro, então, qual material? So, you're asking, what is the material that takes longer to decompose in nature? So, you're going to start, glass takes long to decompose, ok? Então, vidro, o vidro, né, the material. O vidro, and then the verb is demorar, to take longer. O vidro, to take long, então, demora mais para se decompor na natureza. Qual é a solução para o problema do excesso de lixo? So, what's the solution to the problem of excess of trash? So, you can say recycling is the solution, or to recycle is the solution. So, you can use the verb reciclar. Reciclar é a solução. É a solução. Or you can use the noun recycling. Reciclar é a solução. Or a reciclagem. A reciclagem é a solução. So, what's the difference between these two sentences? Oh, meu Deus, que é isso aqui? Que é isso, Vanessa? Solução, ok. Reciclagem é a solução. So here you have the verb to recycle is the solution, and here you have the noun recycling is the solution. Notice that in English you say recycling and you don't know if you're talking about the verb or the noun. So in Portuguese, you have the verb here and the noun here. Now, sua universidade tem responsabilidade ecológica? Justifique. So we all agree that UT does have, right, ecological responsibility. Então, sim. And then you explain why you think that is. And one reason that we all see that we can all say is that UT separates and recycles trash, right? Sim. A UT separa e recicla. O verbo reciclar, né? Recicla o lixo. Qual é a alternativa que Cabo Verde encontrou para a seca? So once again, this is information that we studied in class, and that's why it's so important for you to pay attention when we are studying these things in class, okay? Because I expect you to remember the information that that I gave you and that you studied in class, okay? So, qual é a alternativa que Cabo Verde encontrou para a seca? So, this is a big environmental problem in Cabo Verde. So, that is the drought. So, the solution they have is the desalinization of the water, né? Então, qual é a alternativa que Cabo Verde encontrou para a seca? So, what's the alternative that Cabo Verde found for the drought? Então, desalinização da água do mar foi a solução que Cabo Verde encontrou para a seca. Como se chama o serviço que oferece à população água potável e tratamento de esgoto? So what's the name of the service that offers the population drinking water and treatment of sewage treatment? So that is called basic sanitation, ok? Então, o serviço se chama saneamento básico. And that's why it's called, basic sanitation, because this is the basic thing that you need in order to have a healthy population. You have to treat the sewage and you have to treat the water so that people can drink the water and not get sick. O que é turismo sustentável, turismo ecológico? So, what is that? So, turismo ecológico. Então, turismo sustentável. That's why it has the name sustainable tourism, né? Sustentável, because it respects and it preserves nature. Então, turismo sustentável é o turismo, so it is the tourism, é o turismo that respects, que respeita e protege e preserva o meio ambiente, ou a natureza, né? Que é o turismo sustentável, é o turismo que respeita e preserva o meio ambiente ou preserva a natureza. Como administração local, once again, I expect you to remember the information, retain the information that we see in class. So how does the local administration protect the environment in Fernando de Noronha? So we have two things here that we saw in class. Então, a administração. And remember that then you have to say administração local. Permite somente 420 visitantes, ou então turistas, de cada vez. So this is one of the things they do. So the local administration only allows 420 tourists at a time, de cada vez, e cobra, and they charge an environmental preservation fee, ok? E cobra uma taxa de preservação ambiental. ok? So, the local administration allows, né, permite, only, somente, 420 tourists at a time, and it charges a environment preservation tax so that you can go in, okay? So that's how they protect the environment and they limit the number of tourists they receive. Now, use o futuro do indicativo excuse me, para dizer o que cada pessoa fará no ano que vem. So use the future indicative to say what each person will do. Fará is already in the future indicative, okay? In the next year. Oh, excuse me. Então, Maria. So, guys, here, when you have futuro do indicativo, just remember, write the infinitive of the verb. Unless you have the three regular verbs, fazer, dizer, e trazer. But if it's any other verb, just write the infinitive. So it's viajar. And then you add the ending. So the endings are e, a, emos e ão, a, o, tio. Então, Maria viajará para a Europa. Eu, write the infinitive and then add the ending. Eu irei mais ao cinema. O prefeito, the mayor, will give more fiscal incentive to the people who pollute less. Então, ele dará incentivo. Oh, meu Deus, o que eu fiz aqui? Ele dará incentivo fiscal às pessoas que poluem menos. Eles, now the verb dizer is irregular, okay? So the Z changes to an R. Então, eles, the Z changes to an R, and then you add the ending. Eles dirão somente a verdade. They will only tell the truth. Meus pais, let's change it to eles, ok? Eles me visitarão, write the infinitive and then add the ending. Me visitarão com mais frequência. Okay. Now here, what you have to pay attention is that you have the two verb tenses that go together. So the imperfect subjunctive goes with the conditional. And the future subjunctive goes with the future indicative. You can invert the position of these, but you cannot cross them, okay? So it's always future subjunctive, future indicative, or future indicative, future subjunctive, or imperfect subjunctive, conditional, or conditional, imperfect subjunctive. So, you look here. Se fôssemos mais responsáveis com a reciclagem, nós não... So, if we were, remember that to form the imperfect and the future subjunctive, you go to the third person plural of the preterite, okay? Então, if we were more responsible with recycling, so the verb ser in the preterite is foram, terceira pessoa, third person plural, foram. So you take out the ram and then you add the endings, okay? Se, semos, sem. Então, se fôssemos, so that means this other verb here, if you have the imperfect subjunctive, this verb here has to be in the conditional. So the conditional, very easy, just put the infinitive and then add the ending. Nós teríamos, because it's nós, right? Teríamos problemas com lixo. Vamos ver aqui. So, sairemos. So here you have the future subjunctive. So that means that here you have to have, here you have the future indicative. So it means that here you have to have the future subjunctive. So we won't leave here until we solve this problem, until we resolve this. Enquanto não, so you go to the third person plural, resolverão. Take out the resolvermos o problema. Quando me blá blá blá, So you have to use the verb formar, that means to graduate. So when I, I will, eu farei o mestrado. So farei is in the future subjunctive. So it means that this one here has to be in the, farei is in the future indicative. So that means that here you have to have the future subjunctive. So it's the, because it's the first person, so it's me formar. Quando eu me formar. So when I graduate, I will take a master's. Eu não compraria. So here you have the conditional. It means that this verb here has to be in the imperfect subjunctive. Eu não compraria uma Mercedes mesmo que eu tivesse dinheiro. Enquanto nós não blá 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 a emissão de dióxido de carbono, o efeito estufa continuará. Futuro do indicativo, so it means you have to have futuro do subjuntivo. Enquanto nós não diminuirmos a emissão de dióxido. So, until we do not reduce the emission of carbon dioxide, the greenhouse effect will continue to get worse. Sempre que vocês, so every time you, and then here you have poderão, futuro do indicativo, right? So here it has to be futuro do subjuntivo. Sempre que vocês necessitarem de algo, poderão me procurar. Os países pobres poluiriam. So here you have the conditional, so here you have to have the imperfect conditional. The imperfect subjunctive. Os países pobres poluiriam menos se tivessem acesso à tecnologia mais barata. Quando eu blá blá blá, so the poor countries would pollute less if they had access to cheaper technology. Quando eu blá blá blá, viajarei ao redor do mundo. So viajarei, futuro do indicativo. So that means you have to be in the future subjunctive. Quando eu, third person plural, forão, take out the So you have for, and then you add the ending. You don't have the ending because it's the first person. Quando eu for rica, viajarei ao redor do mundo. Quando ele viajar, so you have future subjunctive here. So here you have to use future indicative. Future indicative, just write the verb in the infinitive, visitar, and add the ending. Visitarei Lisboa. Se, and then the verb haver has just one form. Here you have the conditional. So here is houvesse. Okay, so here you have future indicative. So here it has to be future subjunctive. So third person plural, tiveram, take out the Então, se nós tivermos. Se nós tivermos. Oh, I didn't write the other part. Se nós tivermos dinheiro. Let's put dinheiro here. Se nós tivermos dinheiro, visitaremos o Louvre. Sempre que você, so every time you travel, deverá, futuro do indicativo, so you have to use the future subjunctive. Sempre que você viajar, deverá levar sua insulina. So every time you travel, you will have to take your insulin. Se tivessem, so here you have the past, the imperfect subjunctive, so here you have to use the conditional. Eles, so just write the infinitive. Telefonar, and then add the ending. Telefonariam, se tivessem algum problema. Ele prometeu que ligará, futuro do indicativo, so futuro do subjuntivo. Ele prometeu que ligará. So he promised he would call. He will call as soon as he gets to São Paulo. Assim que ele chegar em São Paulo. Now, ele prometeu que ele ligaria. He promised he would call. So here you have the conditional. So here you have to use the imperfect subjunctive. Ela prometeu que ligaria assim que chegasse em São Paulo. Promoveria. Okay? Conditional, so here it has to be imperfect, conditional, imperfect subjunctive. So past third person plural, foram, take out the ram and add Se eu fosse prefeito, so if I were the mayor of Knoxville, I would promote recycling courses in every public school. Se nós, and then you have estaríamos, conditional. So here it has to be the imperfect subjunctive. Se nós vivêssemos. Se nós vivêssemos. Se nós vivêssemos mais modestamente, if we lived more modestly, we wouldn't be in the present economic situation. Se eu não o blá 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 diria. So this is in the conditional. So this has to be in the imperfect subjunctive. Se não, so conhecesse. Se eu não o conhecesse, if I didn't know him well, I would say that he's crazy. Se você me, if you, irei. So it's future indicative. So here you have to use future subjunctive. Se você me convidar. Se você me convidar, if you invite me, I will go to your party for sure. Quando nós, blá blá blá, em casa, vamos descansar. So we are going to rest. Futuro, so here you have to use future subjunctive. Quando nós, third person, chegaram, take out the and add the ending. Quando nós chegarmos em casa, vamos descansar. Here you have tivesse, imperfect subjunctive, so here you have the conditional. So the verb fazer is irregular, faria. Eu jamais faria algo assim mesmo que tivesse vontade. I would never do something like this, even if I had the intention to do it, right? The volition to do it. Eu lutarei para proteger a natureza. Future indicative, so this one has to be future subjunctive. Eu lutarei para proteger a natureza enquanto eu for viva. Remember that, third person plural. Take out the Então, enquanto eu for viva. Enquanto lutaremos, future indicative, so here also future subjunctive. Enquanto and it's first person plural, so enquanto formos vivos, until the day we are alive, we will fight to defend human rights. Ok. Use os pronomes se ou nos para indicar reciprocidade. So, I love my boyfriend loves me. So, we love each other, ok? Então, nós... So, in this exercise, guys, either it's going to be nós or eles ou elas, ok? So, it's either going to be first person plural or third person plural. Então, nós... And notice that the verb is in the present, so just keep the verb in the present. Nós nos amamos. Ela... Forgot the verb here. Ela gosta dos seus amigos gostam dela. So, she likes her friends and her friends like her. So, they like one another. Então, eles, and then you have to use, eles se gostam. Ok? Eles se gostam. I respect my father respects me. We respect each other. Então, nós nos respeitamos. Joana detesta sua sogra detesta. So, Joana hates her mother-in-law hates her. So, they hate each other. Então, elas se detestam. Or, if you want to say the name, Joana e sua sogra se detestam. Ok? Can be. Now, responda de forma completa. Se você tivesse muito dinheiro, onde você moraria? Se eu tivesse muito dinheiro, so notice that the imperfect subjunctive, it's the same form for first person and second and third person, right? Se eu tivesse muito dinheiro, Eu moraria em Paris. Com qual celebridade você se casaria se pudesse? If I could. So, with which, to which celebrity would you marry if you could? So, if I could. Se eu pudesse, vírgula. Eu me casaria. See, so the ia form is always the would, okay? I would marry. Eu me casaria com blá, 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 blá. Then you choose whoever you want. Qual carro você compraria se fosse um milionário? So what car would you buy if you were a millionaire? So, if I were a millionaire. Se eu fosse milionário ou milionária, eu, repeat the verb, compraria, eu compraria eu compraria uma Mercedes. Se você não morasse em Knoxville, onde gostaria de morar? So, if you did not live in Knoxville, where would you like to live? Se eu não morasse em Knoxville, eu gostaria de morar em Charleston. Sou eu, tá, gente? Se você não pudesse ter filhos, você adotaria um? Eu sim, tá? Então, sim. Se eu não pudesse, se eu não pudesse ter. So, if you could not have children, would you adopt one? Yes. Se eu não pudesse ter filhos, vírgula, I would adopt one. So remember, just write the verb in the infinitive, and then at the ending, eu adotaria um. Se você fosse muito rico, você estudaria na Harvard? Sim. Se eu fosse muito rica, vírgula, eu estudar, and then you put the ending, estudaria na Harvard. O que você faria se o mundo fosse acabar amanhã? So, what would you do if the world were ending tomorrow? Se o mundo fosse acabar amanhã, vírgula, so infinitive, eu iria para o Brasil, ver meus filhos, Você dirigiria seu carro se você bebesse mais de 2 cervejas? So, would you drive your car if you drank more than 2 beers? Não. Eu não dirigiria, então o verbo dirigir plus ia. Eu não dirigiria meu carro se eu bebesse mais de 2 cervejas. Pronto, gente, terminamos. Obrigada.